Welcome to Dustin's Vinyl. And here's your host, Dustin Chafin. And that's Anthony Kapfer on the guitar. Yeah, let's just talk like this the whole show. Everybody's
Dustin's Vinyl in the morning.
They got their radio voice.
We're going to get the lead out.
Get the lead out. The lead out.
We're doing a 2 for Tuesday.
Ninth caller wins tickets to Striper.
Woo! How you been?
It's just me, Anthony, or we just keep getting better looking every show? I think, look at this. We're crushing it. You got your rugged look going. Mm-hmm. It's like you had sex or you've been on an island for 3 years. One or the other.
Can it be both?
Yeah. If you get lucky enough to have somebody on the island. That's the thing. That's the goal. What's up? Fun. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Been a bit. Not a bit. A little bit. It's been a couple of weeks.
It's been a little while. Well, I don't even know. I never know where you are anymore. You're just
That's
always
a good thing.
You're always on the road.
Yeah, the road's been good. Road has been good. We did a tour this week. We were in Jacksonville, Florida, and played a couple theater shows there. And I'm wearing a Tedeschi Trucks band T-shirt, and I got to hang out with these guys. Ooh, that was amazing.
Nice.
And let me bring in Jeff and Adam for this, so we'll all have fun together. All right, everybody, let's bring in the other family, Jeffrey Paul and Adam Holtz, everybody.
Hey, what's happening, guys? Everybody doing all right?
Everybody's good. What's up, Jeff? Don't you like meeting your rock stars that you worship? It's so cool.
Oh, dude, you made a good one. Like Tedeschi Trucks. That is some guitar player.
I thought it was an actual truck company.
I can never say her name. I had to figure it out as I was talking to her. Tadushi?
I thought it was Tedeschi.
Kardashian? Tedeschi? I don't know. Susan is her name.
Yeah, don't call it by her full name then.
Susan. So we did shows, and we did the one show, and I knew they were coming. And I've seen this band. I've seen them live many times, and he's, Derek Trucks is a guitar god. He filled in for the Allman Brothers. He's been a prodigy. He's like Mozart. He's been good since he was like 7.
That's right.
The guy's phenomenal guitarist. The top 10 definitely living, for sure, hands down. So big fan, whatever. And then Nate's wife was telling me that they were coming to the show, and I was like, what? And so I didn't get to see him, right before the show. I saw him for a second, and then they watched the show. And so, I went on, and they came out, and they were like, "You're so funny." And and that's what you want. You don't want them being.
They came up to you?
Yeah, they came up and said I was so funny. And Nate was still on stage. Cool. They were telling me how funny I was. So that was a good sign. I was like, go watch the other guy. It's kind of why everybody's here. But it was fun. They got to, so usually, that's all we want as comics is somebody to compliment our sets. But when it's somebody that you've yelled, encore, at least 3 shows, it's pretty wild. And so, and I was a little off. Like you get starstruck, some guys, you try to be cool or whatever, but it was cool that he was treating me artist to artist, which I just wasn't ready for. And so that was pretty amazing. And then, the tour manager worked with him on another band, and the guy, he's worked with Fish and a whole bunch of bands, so he knows all the rock and roll life. And so Derek started talking to him, and I started kind of joining in on the conversation, but it was pretty much me listening in on everybody they knew. And then he would just go down and start talking about Allman Brothers stuff and just like what happened at the funeral, at Greg's funeral, and like all these things, just crazy stories that nobody's probably even heard, but I got to hear backstage, and I got to tell him that the Allman Brothers are the Beatles of the South and blah, 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 and all this stuff I've always said, but I got to say it to the guys that were involved with the band. So it was really cool. Did
you tell him about Dustin's Vinyl?
I did. He might come on. And so I'm serious. Because I'm doing Dustin's Vinyl interviews, and we might have him on. I'm going to do that as a Patreon, and he said he would do it. So
that would be pretty cool.
So yeah,
we should do a special episode.
Yeah, you think it'd be special? Yeah, I think so.
No, I think it'd be awesome.
I love how Jeff tries to make fun of me. I'm like, well, we actually talked, and I have a cell phone. So there.
How am I making fun of you?
Here we go.
Here we go. We're starting early.
I love
It's
it.
an episode of Dustin Final. This is what we do, Anthony.
What we do. So anyway, it was great. And Susan was, and then I met the quarterback for the Jaguars. That guy was great.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
Yeah, he was cool too. So he was in. I was more excited about Derek Trucks and Susan Tedeschi. I guess I don't know. I can never say it right, but she's very talented as well. She's an amazing singer. And so I saw them close the Willie Nelson's Outlaw Music Tour. I saw them there, and then I saw them at Radio City, and Radio City. I just got a tour date. I will be performing with Nate in October at Radio City Music Hall. So I'm pumped about that.
You got to put 2 tickets aside for me, Dustin.
2 tickets aside. Well, I may ask you. You might be opening for me in Governors. I might play Governors, and then I'll play. The following week we'll play out. If you're available, if you're available, we'll see. I'll talk to you later.
I'll make myself available for you. Are you kidding?
But we'll do Governors together, and then you can come hang out with us at Radio City. But so very exciting. I'm very blessed. I'm not being cocky. I'm being just, I've been beaten down so much in comedy that like when these things happen, I think people are pretty okay with it.
when
I'm not like some kid that's just getting it.
When people say, they'll say something like, Dustin, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. And I don't believe that. I believe that people put themselves in a position to be lucky, and that when opportunity had, approached you, you were able to take advantage of it, because there'll be someone who may have had the opportunity and they just weren't good and they couldn't hang and they couldn't do it.
And everything is specific with opportunities. Opportunities are very specific. It's like with Derek Trucks. I mean, the fact that he was born into this family of amazing musicians. I mean, could have gone either way. I mean, LaToya Jackson was born into it. It didn't go so well for her.
No, but she wasn't talented. I don't know if she put in the work either.
Yeah. So it's like you have to have the talent, and when you have the connection, and then you got to be able to do the thing. Like this has been very very eye-opening for me. Is I'm leaning towards becoming a clean comedian, and it's just like and to do that was very difficult. It's still difficult. I find myself catching moments where I want to go a certain way on stage, but that's the thing is like there's people that can't do a particular audience like this, because you look out there's like 8,000 people. There's probably 1,000 kids, and you can't just get up there and be like, hey, my dick, so you want to, but you can't. It's like,
that'd be great. That was actually someone's bit.
My dick. There's my dick.
My dick.
My dick, right? Am I right?
Yeah, I did say shit once, and it was no big deal. And I said ass and whatever, and everybody made fun of me. I mean, it wasn't like I was going in hard, but I slipped, because I was doing club sets, and then I get one of these ridiculous things. But so anyway, it's good times. Can't
Radio City. I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at Radio City Music Hall when I was a kid.
Okay, just for the record, that is a song we forgot to cover because I was in my zone and Adam's too polite. And he's not like Adam and he's not like Jeffrey and Anthony. They'll go, hey man, what about me? Like he'll just let it go. So we missed it, but that was his song. Was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Oh yeah,
that was his children's TV theme song.
Which was
we got to cover.
It was written by Chuck Lorre, which I thought was really interesting.
Lorre, the producer guy?
The producer, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, he's crushing it. Yeah, he did My Wife and Kids, or no, Everything You Need. I thought it was How I Met Your Mother.
2.5 Men and
2.5 Men. That was the big one.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
Didn't he do the mother one? No, that's somebody else.
How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I think he did that one. Anyway, that's very cool, Anthony. I saw the Rockettes there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw Willie Nelson, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Well, Willie Nelson, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's pretty comparable.
Well, it is when you're the age when you saw them. I hope your age was 27, but that would make it way better.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, yeah. So anyway, how are you guys doing? Jeff, what have you been up to? You've been performing? Been rocking it out?
I've been
got some good
working
news coming? What's going on?
Like a dog. I have I've been doing shows, but I'm also we were talking off air, but I'm opening up a comedy club in Hershey, Pennsylvania called the Laughing Stock Comedy Club.
Laughing Stock. Interesting.
Laughing Stock
I love
Comedy
it.
Club.
That's
So
great.
we have a web page up. We got all the socials going, and we're going to pretty much, like, by the time this airs, I think we're going to launch this we'll let people know beginning of June, and opening weekend is June 16th.
I like it. It's very Woodstock. I like it. See, Anthony, who knew? You know, we link our wagon to old Jeff over here, and he's opening a comedy club.
Yeah.
We'll be bothering him every day. Hey, man, got a spot? Can I get a spot? Can I get a spot? Hey, man, can I get a spot? Hey, man.
I love Pennsylvania.
Anthony, you, Dustin, whenever you guys roll through, all you got to do is just let me know, and then I'll put you on hold. And
Oh, man.
I give you a lot of check spots, bro.
listen, as Dustin said, you guys are family, so you're in town.
Yeah, we'll do a vinyl show. We'll do a vinyl show. That'll be fun.
We should.
Yeah.
Adam, we should make that happen.
Yeah, I got all the cameras.
Next time, if these guys come through, then we should actually do a show from the club.
Yeah,
Let's do it. I like it. I'm into it. And we'll all stay at Ray Goots' house.
No, you guys get hotel rooms. That's one of the deals that we have.
Oh, yeah? Oh, it's getting better and better. I like it.
I love it.
Fun stuff. How about you, Adam? What have you been working on? Anything exciting? Visual screens and AI? What do you got? What are you up to?
Oh yeah, always doing AI stuff, but
As a hobby or for work? Like what?
well, kind of a mix of things.
Yeah.
But no, I'm doing a lot of I'm working on a art exhibit interactive art exhibit right now. So doing a lot of
Wow.
of production work, a lot of editing, and it's going to be up in Brandeis in August, and then kind of travel the country. So
I love it. Anthony, how are the songs going? You got some new songs? What's happening?
I've been working on songs a little bit, but I've been working on learning how to rewire guitars. So I finally hold
I
on.
love how you and Adam did this at the same time.
I finally got.
Both like, let me.
It's so itchy. It's growing in.
So you're building guitars now. That's your side hustle?
Yes. Well, I was trying to see if I could do it as like. I wanted to do it because I'm doing this one-man band, and I got to play bass and guitar at the same time. Okay. So if I could get my guitar to also be a bass, that's pretty helpful. But I thought maybe I could do it. Maybe I could make money doing it. I'm not sure I'm good enough to make money doing it for other people, but
didn't Kurt Cobain like rebuild his guitar and he had his own sound because of it, like something like that?
He designed a guitar, but his design was he took two photos and cut them in half and put them together. It was the Mustang and the Jaguar, I believe, the Jag Stang. So he just like glued the photos together and had Fender make it.
Oh, okay, that's weird. I love it.
Yeah,
drugs, everybody.
But yeah, I pretty much destroyed this and rebuilt it. So that's been the last
sound.
Yeah, it makes sound. Check that out, bass and guitar at the same time. So now that I've learned how to do that, now I can go back to like writing jokes and songs because I've been having dreams about soldering guitars. Because I just have been researching it so much. It's
fair to say your dream is a little different than Martin Luther's, right?
Yeah.
You have a dream of soldering guitars.
But now I know how to do it. So now I can stop thinking about it all the time.
Weird wet dream you're having there.
Yeah.
Sodomizing guitars.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, we did that.
It's aged me. Look at it. I'm all gray now.
All right. Enough of the soldering guitar talk. Okay. So today we're doing collaborations, which I think are very exciting. Sometimes you come across some that work and some that don't work. I felt like our list, some worked and some were like, wow. So I was trying to do some random pull. I didn't look through all my collection. I just pulled a couple of things that were like. I feel like is it Billie Jean that Eddie Van Halen did the thing?
Yes.
Oh
Billie
yeah,
Jean.
but there's
Billie Jean.
No, beat it.
It's Beat It.
Oh,
Yeah,
Beat It.
Beat It.
But there's also a collaboration on that one.
Oh, with Dirty Diana?
No, with
that's on the next album.
isn't Paul McCartney on one of those songs?
Is he? Okay.
No,
that was on
that was on the
UYT,
right?
No.
Say was
okay. Here's the song on here.
Right?
Read this.
Say and the girl is mine.
I can't read.
Isn't the girl is mine?
I can't read the font.
Thriller.
Yeah, I don't think. Is it on either one of those albums? Is it
I
on
thought the girl is mine is on
Lady
Thriller.
in My Life. No, I don't think
No.
it's on here. I don't think Human Nature. It's not on here, man.
I think it was after.
The girl is mine is on.
Oh, it is here. The girl is mine.
Yeah, well, you guys doubt me
dude.
like I don't have Thriller on vinyl
I couldn't
too.
read it. All right, so there's 2 collaborations. There's with Paul McCartney, Beatles, that dude, Wings, whatever, and and then Eddie Van Halen on Billie Jean.
Yeah, and how much do you guys
Beat
think?
it.
Yeah, how much do you think Eddie Van Halen got paid to do that lead?
0. I've seen that
That's
little
Did it
video
for free, huh?
And I love that little video. He talks about it. He's just like, usually, the thing is in the band, we don't do anything outside of the band, but they were all out of town. That's really funny. And he's just like, who's going to listen?
One take.
That's Eddie.
They did it in one take? Wow.
One take. Yeah, he's great. So, so that's, I think it's the only collab album I could find. And I just had stuff that we just had a bunch of, not necessarily, it's the same genre, but like collaboration of, great artists. Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Buddy Guy.
Nice.
I wish that was my name, Howling Wolf.
It could be. Maybe
You can change it.
Howling Raccoon would be good for you.
I would
Howling Possum,
I would love to be Howling Wolf. No,
Howlin' Hamster. That's like an alliteration.
No. Dude, you live in Staten Island. It's got to be Howling Turkey.
we do have a lot of turkeys.
Wild turkeys.
Too many
We
turkeys.
do have a lot of turkeys.
And then this, I don't know, it's got a bunch of people on it. I don't know anything about it. Somebody gave it to me like as this last week. Leon Russell and Friends. So it's got some collaborations on it. I didn't have the time to find everything. You ever try to look an album up and then just no information? And you're like, yeah, dude. I gotta read like, some Cream magazine from like 1974 just to get some information on this album. So
it's weird how the internet forgets certain things.
Yeah, some things don't come up
from
at all.
Before. Yeah.
And then some things just, easy to find, like nude photos, Anthony Kapfer. Those come up quick.
And you can get them on the Patreon for the podcast.
Patreon. We have interviews.
We have interviews,
nude pictures of Anthony Kapfer. I'm telling you, I think it's going to take off just because of that alone.
Yeah.
Woo! Very exciting, guys. All right. Oh,
Nope.
Drop the album. I had this thing out before. So let's start with you, Anthony. What did you bring us today for collaborations?
For collaborations. Okay, so the first one I'll talk about is I was surprised. I let you guys pick yours first because I thought for sure someone was going to pick this one, but I picked Aerosmith and Run DMC doing "Walk This Way" from I believe 1986. Run DMC was I was reading that they had been using the sample of this song and then just doing like a freestyle kind of thing over it, and they had no idea what the song sounded like beyond the intro or who Aerosmith was. And then I guess it was Rick Rubin's idea for them to just cover the song, and it became a smash hit. It was like a comeback for Aerosmith because they were not very cool, I think, previous years leading up to this. So this was like the beginning of their first comeback. And this was like a huge single for just hip hop. It was, it was big for hip hop being a mainstream medium, I guess. So that was my pick.
Fantastic song. We actually covered the album. I have the album. I just after that you were doing this song, I would have brought it out. I remember I was a kid, tiny little kid in junior high, and this song was everywhere. And it's a perfect collaboration. I don't think hip hop was really a thing yet. It was like they were it was all it was mushing, it was forming, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was shaping like water, just trying to become a thing, and it wasn't really there completely. I think this definitely put it on the map as becoming music that, mainstream kids would listen to.
Oh yeah,
But,
it was way more underground before.
Yeah, absolutely. But the video was fantastic, and
yes,
and they were fantastic, everybody, and it definitely gave a resurgence to Aerosmith, because I think everybody went out and because they were fading out. They were more of a 70s band, and then the 80s kind of it was more other stuff, Michael Jackson, that kind of stuff. So this was this is a song that, every time it comes on, I love it. And it's I remember our dance. We had a big dance in junior high, and we were all trying to do this, dance like Run DMC. And
did you take a big chance at that dance?
I did.
Just asking.
And I went with Mary. No? Okay.
She wasn't bugging or anything, right?
So Jeff, I know you love this song.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. This is the grandfather of the superstar, duos. Run DMC was probably bigger than Aerosmith was at the time. They had already come out with Rock Box, King of Rock, so they were already huge. And then Aerosmith was, they had gone through a decline. There was fighting in the band. There was substance abuse problems. Joe Perry was out of the band. And now it was nice to see them starting to come back. And like Dustin said, man, this video was all over MTV. It was an amazing video. It was a great performance. This, I mean, it's been overplayed a million times, because it's so, it's so old. But at the time, there was nothing. That was like the coolest video to watch.
It just sounds
it was
fresh.
Awesome.
It's
still, listen, I still like it. It's a great song.
Fresh. It sounds pretty fresh comparatively, But
I mean, it was. This is great. This was a great song. I thought it was so obvious that I'm not even going to pick this one.
I thought someone was going to pick it, but then when no one picked it, I was like,
"Well, we covered the album before you joined our beautiful cast,
yeah.
So I think that's probably why we were like, "Well, I'm glad you covered it. It's great." Adam, I heard you hate this song.
Right. This was I was in junior high, and I think it was 89 to 91. And this would be they would play this at the dances then too. It was just monumental. And like you guys said, it was inescapable on MTV. I remember every time they would do the top videos of all time countdown, this would always be either one or somewhere right around one.
What was the video? What was the video intro? Did they do a sketch or something? I feel like
no. They were rehearsing and they were playing a song. And was it Sweet Emotion or something? I don't know.
Oh, probably, yeah.
But they were playing something, and Aerosmith was rehearsing in the studio next to Run DMC.
But I didn't realize until I was trying to read up about this for the show that they couldn't afford to get all of Aerosmith in the video. So it's only Steven Tyler and Joe Perry.
That's right.
And then the rest of them is just some guys from some other band.
Missed opportunity.
It's nobody else. It's just the two of them.
Yeah, and it's just members from some other band.
No, I don't think there's anybody else.
Well, the Wikipedia
I bet the
said
story is we want to pay the other guys as much as
they couldn't afford it. Yeah, they couldn't.
Yeah.
They were from another band. I was looking. It's on Wikipedia, but I don't remember.
I don't know if that's accurate then, because I remember watching that video a million times.
Unknown hair metal outfit smashed Gladys.
But I don't think those two were worth the price tag and whoever was putting this together. Yeah, it's you just need a guitarist and the lead singer. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying, Jeff, you wear a suit. You know how this works. You break
yeah, would you?
It's just like if you had the Stones, you can only afford two. Who are you getting?
It's true. The drummer and
Bill Wyman. That's right. Because he was so full of personality.
Rest in peace, Bill.
He's still alive.
Oh, who's the drummer? What's his name?
Charlie Watts.
Charlie Watts. That's what I was thinking of. He's dead.
He is dead. He
just
died.
I have his jazz album. It's pretty good. It's jazz drumming. It's pretty fun. All right. Adam, what'd you bring us, you lunatic?
Right. I'm gonna go with Beyonce and Jack White doing "Don't Hurt Yourself."
Come on.
Okay.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
I know. I had no idea either.
Oh, really? You guys didn't listen to Lemonade when it came out?
What is happening in my ears right now?
So I had no idea that Jack White had collaborated with Beyonce. He actually, I guess they had met up at some point, and she said, "I want to be in a band with you." And he kind of sketched out this song. It's written by him, Beyonce, and Deanna Gordon. This is off of Lemonade in 2016, and it's actually got another collaborator on it too, which is Led Zeppelin. They used a sample from When the Levee Breaks. When Beyonce is shouting, "Let it be, let it be, let it be," you can hear the drumming from When the Levee Breaks there. Yeah,
that's not really a true collaboration, in my opinion.
Right.
Just use something. Yeah.
Just a sample.
But yeah. So this, I thought, I mean, Beyonce's got such vocal range in this one. I mean, she really pushes it. There's a little bit of Aretha. There's some Janis Joplin in there. And I mean, listening to this, I want to hear.
He's not impressed.
Sorry. I go ahead.
But listening to this, I kind of want to hear more of this album. I mean, this is the one that a lot of people say is the go-to, considered probably her best album, Lemonade.
Lemonade's great.
It's delicious.
Right. But yeah, it was interesting.
It was a film, like a video album. It's cool. I say watch it if you can watch it.
Well, the video for this song doesn't even have Jack White on. It doesn't even have his vocals on it. It's when she says Malcolm X, and it goes into a whole bunch of footage of Malcolm X. And I guess Jack White wasn't even really expecting his vocals to be on it. He said it was in the demo, and then they left it in. And I think it's a fiery song. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it, because I kind of just played that list and I forgot whose was whose, and I forgot, I figured it was yours after it was playing. But I like Jack White. Like, I think he does a lot of weird stuff. Like, if I could do it over again, I'd probably do the Loretta Lynn thing that he did with her.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't even think about it. But yeah, he's fantastic. Anything that he arranges is going to be fun. I didn't like this at all. I felt like it was tried too hard to be some sort of new thing. Whereas I feel like, with the Run DMC and Aerosmith thing, it feels like it vibes perfectly. Like I feel hip hop and metal. It's like, it kind of, or not metal, but whatever Aerosmith is, rock and roll, but it comes together a little smoothly. And this did not feel smooth. This felt like forced, and it was just trying to do, hey, I'm hip, and like she was trying to do what her husband did with Linkin Park, and I don't know. I just feel like it didn't work for me personally. Her voice is great, but it doesn't mean it works great with this. Like, I felt like I tried to give it a couple shots. I was like, it just feels it was just too noisy. It didn't.
What's interesting is when I was looking into this song, Jack White was saying he had collaborated with Jay-Z back in 2009, but it just didn't go anywhere. It just didn't work.
I think his music goes better with country. I feel that's why the Loretta Lynn thing works better, because there is a lot of country base to what he does. I mean, when he covers Jolene and everything, it works. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just the genres don't mix, even though he's brilliant, she's brilliant in her own right, but it doesn't work together, I don't think. Jeff, how do you feel about it?
I'm kind of siding more with you on this one as well. First of all, I'm not a big Beyonce fan. I think she's really super overrated.
Phenomenal dancer, though.
Okay.
Phenomenal dancer. He really is.
Maybe she's in my category.
Two dancers would be connected. Whatever.
But with this song, I mean, it's very soulful. Beyonce trying to be edgy. I like that there was a rock influence in it. I mean, if I'm telling you, it's okay. I'm not, after this episode, I'm not going back and listening to it. There are other songs that we did on here that I will absolutely go back on other episodes. I go back and listen to stuff. This is definitely one of them I won't go back and listen to.
All right. As a big Lemonade fan, Anthony, which I did not see that coming. I'm doubting our friendship, but
I like Lemonade.
And rightfully so.
I thought it was a great album. I don't think that this song is either of their best work.
Okay.
And I don't think it's the best song on Lemonade.
Have
but
you
it's
guys
cool.
heard of this? Like I hadn't.
Lemonade?
This. No,
Yeah.
this song.
Yeah,
I don't listen.
when
to
it
Beyonce.
came out, I watched the I listened to it and I watched the film. It's like a whole.
Oh, okay.
film.
It just seemed like something that would get a lot of buzz that they were doing a song together, is what I'm saying, and I didn't hear anything.
I feel like the album got its own buzz, and the fact that she collaborated with him it was not really part of the buzz that I heard.
I got you.
It was more about the video, that it was a whole video album film, whatever it is, 40 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. And I don't think you're going to get one or the other is not going to get each other's fan base,
Yeah.
You're just not going to sway Beyonce fans to Jack White music, and you're not going to sway Jack White fans to Beyonce music. I don't think it's just not going to happen. I think that's where the divide is,
It's a weird collaboration. It's kind of cool. I mean, I'm glad that they did it.
Oh, yeah. It's
But,
cool that they did it. Sure.
Yeah.
You give them credit for it.
But
It's not terrible. It's far from terrible.
No. But I don't know if it's like one of the standout moments on the album. Like, it's fine. But if they didn't do this song, I think the album still would have had the same buzz that it had.
Yeah, and some things work. I mean, probably a song that we'd all kill ourselves to if we heard it again, but it works perfectly is that little Nas X song with Billy Ray Cyrus. I mean, that song, it was perfect. And that's why it was so popular. And the way, the melody, how he came in with the vocals and the chorus, and, and it just worked. So you can fuse and it works with, different genres. This just didn't work.
I did like that. I liked how ballsy it was that she has a song where in the hook she keeps saying, "Let it be, let it be."
Yeah. I don't even think she
that.
knows that that's a Beatles song. I feel like somebody told her after. She's like, what? Beatles? Oh, I heard of them. The Rolling Stone people? No. They had to explain what the Beatles were.
Let it be.
I feel like she didn't know. I think she was just like, she thought of it. She's like, this is great. Let it be. And they're like, easy, Tiger. Easy. Slow it down.
I don't get royalties on that.
They're like, easy. Let me walk you through music a little bit. I really feel that's the case. Because she has no clue. I remember one time I was in a comedy club and there's a comic. I'll say his name, Mike Britt, whatever. We were just hanging out and we were smoking spliffs. We were having a great old time after the show. And all along the Watchtower came on Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, great.
No, that wasn't the song. What's the one where I kill my old lady or whatever? I caught her messing around with another man. You know that song?
Oh, Hey Joe.
Yeah. Hey Joe. Yeah. Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
Joe.
it?
Hey Joe. Yeah, great
Hey
song.
Joe. Okay. All right, so yeah, so the lyrics are that. I killed my old lady, cut her messing around. And so he goes, man, this is some bullshit, man. If a black guy sing this song, they would shut him down. And then we were like, Jimi Hendrix is black. And
he didn't know. He didn't know it was Hendrix?
Yeah, no, he's very limited. So
You probably thought it was Clapton.
I was Clapton. It makes sense. This sounds similar. So my friend and my cell phone, he's playing with Clapton this week. So anyway, DT, I call him. Yeah, cool. All right, whose turn is it? My turn. Let's see. What do I got? I thought mine was fun. I found it at the gym. Sometimes that's the thing about these, streaming things. They really open you up to finding music. As much as I complain about all of it. Back in the day, how did we find new music? You hoped you had a cool uncle. You hope maybe the record store carried something cool.
The guy behind the counter.
Yeah,
something to you.
You were. Oh, usually it was like whatever they were playing. Sometimes sometimes that's what I'll do. I'll go.
Yeah, you walk in. I remember that's how I discovered Motley Crue.
Oh yeah, they were just playing on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with me. Like Etta James was on at a record store, and I was like, "Oh, that's beautiful." So I got into her after that. So yeah, I think that's very limited. thing. You hope that somebody's, has good music playing or knows good music, or you have somebody in your life that can get you onto stuff. So anyway, what are we talking about? We're doing the collaboration. Take What You Want. 6 single and 9 track of Post Malone's album. And we have a very special guest on this album, Ozzy freaking Osbourne. I think this sounds amazing. I heard it and I was like, this is great. And apparently it was really kind of a top 10 for Ozzy Osbourne. Like it was in years. Like it kind of put him back on the charts. And I love this song. I think it sounds great. It's Post Malone, who, you see this guy, you're like, he's got the tattooed face. You're like, you see him everywhere. He's everywhere. Like, I feel like he's the young guy who's he's in movies. He's always like at the Grammys, but I never explored him much. I know he's the hip guy that everybody is kind of into as far as this kind of alternative hip hop kind of guy. But I think this works perfectly. I think Ozzy's, vocals bleed into this on the chorus. I think it sounds perfect. I haven't heard Ozzy sing this good since with Lita Ford. You know what I mean? Like it just really sounds like it works perfect. And it's also featuring on this is American rapper Travis Scott. And this is released in 2019. I did not know. I just found it recently. I had no idea this is released in 2019. But yeah, I'm liking this song. I like this. Jeff, I know you're a big Ozzy guy. So what do you think of this?
I'm going to tell you right now, this is the best. This is the best collaboration in over 20 years.
Nice.
This is really, really good, man. I mean, if I'm going to have a minor, because the song just works. I mean, Ozzy's vocals is the best since 70s. I mean, it's great. I love it. I love the beat of it. I think Travis Scott works great in it. I think Post Malone sounds. I think the only thing I don't like, I'm not a big fan of auto-tune, and Post Malone is a big auto-tune guy. But the song, the music, the melody of it, everything about this song is great. It's spot on. It's a cool song. It's good that I get to listen to I can say I enjoy a Post Malone song now. You were itching to say. But he does have a rock background, and I do kind of dig that about him.
Okay, let me throw this at you, Jeff. Okay, auto-tune. Wouldn't you say that pedals are the auto-tune for guitars?
No, I think
a lot of them are analog. So
I'm not talking about literally. I'm just meaning.
No, but when it comes to the voice, I want to hear. I don't need the voice to be enhanced. I don't mind some distortion, a little, something on the guitar to make it sound a little bit different, but not the voice. I mean, if that's the way you feel, then that's fine. But and I think, listen, Cher did a great job with auto-tune on it, and we know she could sing. And I'm not saying I don't think Post Malone could sing, because I think he can. Okay, but I just don't like it. Just like I don't like.
Song is auto-tune,
because you can hear it.
You could just
obviously hear it.
Well, I think,
and I've listened to the song a million times.
Yeah, had you heard this song before?
Yeah, I love this song. I think the song is great. But the thing is, I hadn't listened to it in a while. So when I was listening to it again this week just to refresh it, it becomes like constant replay on my playlist.
Okay, nice. Yeah, all right. So, what did you think, Anthony? Did the auto-tune bother you?
I really didn't like it. I didn't. There wasn't much. Ozzy's voice sounded good, but that was about where I drew the line.
Okay. I like the music arrangement in it.
Nah, it wasn't for me. The whole vibe of it.
Yeah, it felt a little dated, kind of like late 90s kind of Ozzy kind of song. But yeah, it's like
a hip hop ballad, which I'm not a huge fan of usually.
But you like Lemonade, so you don't make sense, Anthony.
I'm very complex.
There's layers to you.
I want my rap to be hard.
Okay. Sounds a little gay, but I like it.
But Anthony, you didn't like the music in this?
The music was good, I thought.
It really didn't get you going. You didn't think
you going. No,
Yeah.
it's like a mellow. This is a mellow. So
I don't know, man. It still had an edge.
It has
this
some
was
lift to it.
yeah. This wasn't like a wimpy song at all.
It's not wimpy. It's not a power ballad.
To me, it was a little wimpy.
No, it's definitely harder than When I Close My Eyes Forever.
It was like it reminded me of like what is like Changes or Mama I'm Coming Home. It was like that kind of Ozzy.
Well, I think the song is better than Mama Coming Home.
with some just some hip hop thrown in there.
All right. Well, the defining decider and judge on the show is Adam. So, Adam, what did you think?
Well, you guys mentioned Lita Ford before, and that was the first thing I thought when the song started up. I was like, this does sound like Ozzy from Close Your Eyes. But I don't know. I mean, I liked Ozzy's part. I just thought I thought Post Malone, Travis Scott it was kind of a forgettable song to me. At least out of the others, I thought there was a lot of other stronger hip hop collaborations on here.
I get it. Sometimes it speaks to you and sometimes it doesn't, but you guys are totally wrong. Okay, so the next that's what's beautiful about music. It's subjective. You can do what you want. All right. Let's see. Jeff, why don't you lead us off?
Yeah. Okay. So I chose it was I believe the year was 91, the 91 album, Attack of the Killer Bees. This is an Anthrax album, and the song was Bring the Noise, which is a great Public Enemy song, but the collaboration between Anthrax and Public Enemy is killer to me. I thought this is great. As much as I like, Walk This Way, I like this better because it is just harder. And on this album, Anthrax does a cover of Kiss's Parasite. I every time I forget about Anthrax and I put something back on, I love it. It's a great collaboration. MTV Headbangers Ball used to play the shit out of this. This is great. Rolling Stone ranks it 160 on its top 500 songs of all time. And to me, this is the greatest rap rock collaboration of all time.
Wow.
And when you talk about having fun, these guys look like they have fun, and they toured together. So they these guys get it.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed the Beyonce song a little better.
No, you don't. You did not.
I respect public. I respect everybody involved in this song.
You're saying they didn't bring the noise?
The only thing that would make that better, Anthony, if you would have done it in this voice.
Are you saying they didn't bring the noise? They brought the noise. I just didn't like it.
I mean, when you see this on paper, you're like, oh my God. Like, I saw it on paper or whatever written. I was like, this is going to be amazing. And I'm not saying it's not amazing, because it probably is. I just felt like I don't know. It felt too hard. I felt like it could have used some Post Malone softness to it. It felt like it was going in too hard. I don't know. I just some reason, and I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to be controversial in this, whatever. I just felt like it was a little much for my ears.
You put this on, you'll fight anyone on the planet.
I'll fight anybody anyway. I'll fight anybody to Air Supply. Come on, you know me. I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
If Tyson's on the other corner, okay, and I have to fight him, let me first hear this song, and then I'll go.
Dude, I'll fight you to Conway Twitty. I don't care. I'll fight anybody at any song, anytime. That Wake Me Up Go-Go, I would have been the guy who's like, we can still do this, I'll be like, we can still go. Come on. Anthony, I feel like this has got you written all over it. How'd you feel about it? Obviously different than I felt. Yeah.
I love it. I do think that the Public Enemy version is better. But it's so much fun.
It is fun.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Even though Anthrax isn't necessarily making Public Enemy better.
No.
You're still having a blast listening to it. And it is cool that it's a similar thing that Run DMC and Aerosmith did, but they flipped it where the rock band is covering the rap group. So that's kind of a fun twist on that. But I love it.
Yeah, Adam, how do you feel?
I agree with everything Jeff said about this one. This is, I think this is probably the best rap rock combination, collaboration. And I mean, it's just so it's edgy. It gets you fired up. I love this song. I mean, this is probably the one I played the most on this list this week.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like on paper this looks like this should be a home run, and I guess for most people it is. I just felt
great
I don't
rock
know.
group, great rap group, great song.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm going to beg to differ on the greatest combo of rock and rap. I think what I chose was the perfect song when it comes to kind of the blending of the two genres. I believe,
Anthony, that's what you call a segue.
On Dustin's Vinyl in the morning.
Dustin's Vinyl.
Take it away, Dustin.
Numb by Linkin Park, which I think we all miss. Very tragic. Meteora, how do you say it? Meteora. Great album. I feel like this song, 2002. God, I mean, you think like that was a long time ago. Like it when I was listening to it, I was like, this definitely felt fresh. Or it felt very 2000. It depends on how you look at it. I feel like a lot of people are trying to Evanescence and people, those bands are trying to like bring this sound back, I think. But that band's old too now. I mean, I don't know if there's like, are there young bands doing this? Probably. I feel like once I went down that new rock thing on Apple, they all sounded like this. And I feel like there's a lot of the new rock sounds exactly like Linkin Park to me. Like I feel like it's you're better off going new punk than you are new rock. I have a hard time finding anything that doesn't sound like this 2000 sound. Jay-Z bothers a lot of people, but I love Jay-Z. Something about him is he's funny to me. His work with Rick Rubin, his work on this, I feel like is spot on. This song, the way it builds is amazing. The way that it's just kind of like comes together with Jay-Z when his vocals come in. This is like, it was top on Billboard for 12 weeks, 6 weeks, number 11 peaked, it has all kinds of accolades and stuff. 1 billion streams on Spotify, top 100 tracks of the decade, that kind of thing. This is great. I'm not a huge Linkin Park guy, like in the sense of I'm not like a crazy fan. But every time I hear something from them, I just enjoy it. This is kind of one of those songs, kind of bandwagony, where I'm like, this is a good one. I'm not like, I can't give you some Linkin Park catalog full of like things, that they've done that I love. I hadn't seen them live or anything. And then, but I just love this song. I remember when it came out, it kind of got us through kind of, this post 9/11 stuff, like when music, we were all clinging to good music again and stuff. And this is just one of those songs I remember as a big part of my life that I played a lot. And I felt like it made me feel a little younger because it wasn't just all like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Like there was something that was fresh. And this is one of the fresh songs I remember that I was listening to. Adam, how do you feel about this song, Numb, with Jay-Z and Linkin Park?
Listening to it today, I'm like, there's something off about it. I feel a bit conflicted about this, and I think it's because I think it's a natural collaboration, but I really like Numb, just the song Numb, and I feel like when it goes into Numb and the chorus at the end, it's almost like just two completely different songs that are going on. I like Jay-Z's part at the beginning, but I just like I don't know why they needed to bring that chorus in the end.
I mean, I think it works. I think what works about this is Linkin Park fans are going to be Jay-Z fans, and I think some Jay-Z fans became Linkin Park fans. Well, this is one of the few songs that I think it worked, where the fan bases were connected, as opposed to like both fan bases going, what the hell is happening? So I feel like it fused the two, because they performed live together. So, and successfully. So I think that's a big part of it too. These other bands, I'm sure Run DMC and Aerosmith did one or two or something, but I think they did a whole thing together. Jeff, how do you feel?
I love it. This is great. This absolutely works. It's a great combination. I actually think the three songs that we picked, okay, and each of us picked something different. I think these are the three best rock rap collaborations of all time. I think this is great. I don't know. There's no criticism of it. it's a great song. Jay-Z's vocal is perfect on it. The chorus of Numb is great. Numb is a great song on its own. This is tremendous.
I can never tell Anthony if you like a band like Linkin Park. So I'm very curious about your response to something, because I know he's kind of not in the genre of the dirty punk stuff you like. So I'm curious.
I was not a fan of Linkin Park.
I felt
so when this came out, I hated this.
Yeah.
I hated it until I heard Post Malone and Ozzy Osbourne together, and now I think it's okay.
It's genius.
But
that's a segue. Good work.
I liked Jay-Z's part. I feel the opposite of Adam. I prefer the Jay-Z stuff. And I'm like, why do they even need Linkin Park on this?
That's why we do the show. To each his own, literally, here on all the songs. Very cool. All right, so we got a little bit of time left. So who's next? Anthony, let's go Adam on the next one.
All right, I did a recent collaboration. The National and Taylor Swift, the Alcott, off of the National's recent album, First Two Pages of Frankenstein. And this is another one of those, do these two fan bases mix? Because, you have Taylor Swift, pop superstar, and National is kind of this indie royalty. And they'd actually collaborated before on a Taylor Swift song. So, Matt Berringer, lead singer, wrote this song. And Aaron Dessner, who had produced two of Taylor Swift's albums, reached out to her. Was like, hey, I got this song. This is her favorite band, The National. So it's, it on paper, it doesn't seem like it would necessarily work, but it's this kind of introspective love ballad. You got these shifting perspectives. It works as a really good duet. And, I feel like this could be one of those kind of crossover hits, those mainstream crossover hits.
Yeah, this is the best she's ever sounded, in my opinion. It's the first time that she's had some bite and some soul. Mm-hmm. I hear the music. I know she's super talented, but I just can't, it's one of those. It's not for us, and it's hard. It's even. I feel like a dick. Even like you can go after Post Malone. I feel like a dick if I go after Taylor Swift because it's not made for me. But I might revisit this if she did more with this. I feel like I would be more into her if she took away, because sometimes like Miley Cyrus, like they take a turn and they get good and you're like, okay, I take back all the other stuff I said about you. And so sometimes artists take a turn and they get more serious and they get better, and so maybe this is the beginning of that.
Did you think she sounded more grown up on this?
Yeah.
I thought this was more mature for her.
Yeah.
I don't think
35.
I didn't. I liked her. I thought the backing vocals were nice. This is definitely not my type of music. This is kind of like modern folk. So I'm not a big fan of the National.
Folk I like. I don't consider her folk though.
No, not her, but the National and this style. Yeah. But I did think she sounded nice. This is definitely something. Again, I would not ever play again. Yeah. Okay, but I would like to see her go in this type of direction,
and
where it's a more mature, not as poppy sound. Because she, like you did say, she's talented, and when her first album came out, I thought she was a little bit more country, and I like that too.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have the access she has to amazing musicians and people around you, your music inevitably has to get better. Mm-hmm. Anthony.
I have nothing against Taylor Swift, but I never got into the National.
You're running against her.
I didn't enjoy this, and it had nothing to do with Taylor Swift. I just didn't like.
And it had everything to do with the National.
Yeah, she didn't make it better or worse one way or the other. I just from the opening, I was like, eh, and then the guy from the National starts. Yeah. Singing first.
Yeah,
right?
He sings most of the song.
Yeah. So the intro's happening. I'm like, eh. Then he comes in with his vocals and I was like, eh. And then by the time she came in, I was like, there's not much she could have done here.
We liked it when it was the Pogues.
So I won't listen to it again.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So why don't we, which song did you pick? Your second one. What was it?
Mine?
Yes.
Wait, can we save Anthony's for last? Because we're gonna need a lot of time for Anthony's. A lot of time for it. I think we could do a whole segment on it. Mine's just real quick.
Okay. You go.
Okay. So real quick, I love this song, Come With Me, Puff Daddy and Jimmy Page. It really is. It's a rework of the 75 song Cashmere. Tom Morello from Rage is playing bass on it. I love it. The heavy orchestral part of it. And it's off the Godzilla soundtrack. I think this is my favorite song Puff ever did. I'm very more curious to what you guys think about this.
I don't know. It's another one that I don't know if it worked. These collaborations are I kind of like Anthony's more than I like this one.
Oh, no, Anthony's, we need there's
we'll do a whole segment on it?
Anthony,
we'll save it.
You have no
like
idea
what you just
undercovered.
I felt like this song felt busy. And I feel that's
there's a lot going on in it. There's a lot going on. It was
busy, and I think that's what Adam, what'd you think?
No, I had the same issue with it. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like the Post Malone one more than that one.
Wow.
I think that was the weakest of the rap kind of rock combos.
Yeah, even though great, again, talented people except for Puppy are involved in this, and then All right, Anthony's, talk to us.
It was a big deal when this came out because he got Led Zeppelin, because it's doesn't Jimmy Page play on it? It's not just a sample.
No, it's him. He played
that is
live.
cool. That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember it being a big deal, but I don't really like Puff Daddy or P. Diddy. Like, no matter how he releases music, I feel like he was a bad thing for hip hop in the 90s. He made it go like in a very mainstream pop way that was what I didn't prefer it.
I think people should owe Colonel Parker an apology. I think what Puff Daddy did is like outrageous. There's been a lot of videos circulating with Biggie was apparently, they ripped off a guy that was like a Southern dude that was like kind of the same whole thing. His name was Biggie, and like he did the same kind of rap and whatever. And Puff, I think Puff paid him off just so he could take this.
Is that
stuff.
true?
Yeah, it's like there's some document on it. You can check it out.
I never heard
I'll come back.
I never heard that either. That's
actual
cool
information. But there's a guy that ripped off. Like apparently Biggie ripped off, or Puff ripped him off, and like they paid him all the way out. The guy never said anything because he was getting paid out. But it was like a lot of things are like that. Dangerfield bought his act from a guy that didn't make it. It's like there's everybody. No
that guy also got no respect.
There you go.
Still to this day.
All right, Anthony, you got 2 minutes. What do you got?
2 minutes. Okay.
Not enough time.
Really?
I think a whole episode.
Just go. Come on, we got it.
I picked. This was this was a live performance. I picked when the Beastie Boys were on Saturday Night Live.
I'm looking at the wrong one.
Oh, okay, good.
You gave the wrong one.
No,
that was a bonus.
It's the bonus that I'm focused on.
Okay. Okay. Time for the bonus.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the Beastie Boys on Saturday Night Live playing a little bit of Sabotage, and then Elvis Costello storms the stage and they play Radio with the Beastie Boys as his backing band, which I think when I saw this on TV, I liked Elvis Costello, but I don't think I had any idea why that happened. And I was reading up a little bit about it for this, and now I get it. Apparently, Elvis Costello had been banned from playing on Saturday Night Live because what was the song? Less Than Zero. He was supposed to play.
Was it Watching the Detective? No. I think it was Radio.
He played Radio.
Right. He was supposed to play something else, and then went into Radio.
He played a few seconds, and then he said the same thing. There's no reason for me to play this song. Then he played Radio. He got banned, and then this was his return. This was the first time he had played on Saturday Night Live. Was the Beastie Boys came on? They played a few seconds of Sabotage, which is the song that was that was what they were supposed to play, and then And then he comes out and he says, "There's no reason to play this song." And then they play Radio.
That
And
was great.
it's pretty cool. It's
That was great.
nice.
Did you like it, Jeff?
moment.
I loved it. I love it. I absolutely loved it. I love everything about that story. That story is true. I remember being a little kid when Elvis Costello did that. And I remember when he came out and did this on Saturday Night Live. I love the Beastie Boys, love Elvis Costello, love the song, and love the story behind it. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is cool. I didn't realize it ran that deep. And then, because at first I was like, this is like the Run DMC thing. One's playing, and then, hey, look.
Yeah.
But Adam, what'd you think?
Yeah, I think knowing the story makes it better too. I kind of it would have been great to hear Elvis Costello perform Sabotage with them.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty cool.
That's what I was hoping for.
too.
Yeah.
This almost makes you like Elvis Costello. I mean,
I love Elvis
I'm this
Costello. I love Elvis
close.
Costello.
I'm this close. I've seen him live. I'm this close. I've tried. I've tried with all my being. I saw him at the Beacon do an acoustic set. Yeah.
Well, the first two albums
all right.
are the best.
The attractions are the good stuff, but
Yeah.
I got a little Elvis out, All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Dustin's Vinyl. Please go on YouTube and get us famous. Get the clicks. Click us out, baby, and support your local record stores and buy vinyl records. We love you guys. Bye-bye.